The sport of rowing is very interesting, especially when you row a small boat, because there's nowhere to hide. You have to perform at your best in all aspects of your life in order to succeed, and there's no one to lean on. One of the first memories I ever have was with my dad, and he put me on a countertop next to the sink, and he handed me a light switch cover, and he handed me a screwdriver, and he said, "Put it on." That to me is a memory that is the foundation of who I am today. I was raised in a blue-collar family in Connecticut and Massachusetts because my family divorced when I was about 3 and my mom moved us to the Cape. You know, I was surrounded by the tradespeople all the time. Both my dad and my stepdad were in the trades, and it just rubbed off on me. You know, my dad and I had a really tough relationship, and so I saw working with my dad as a way to spend time with my dad. It was the only time I spent with him. There was a lot of great moments. There was also a lot of really tough moments because I would want to do things a certain way. It just got to a point where nothing was ever going to change. I actually remember the day where I said I never want to touch a toolbox again. During my college career, I was really becoming a pretty good rower. I was finally in a spot in my life where I was controlling the direction. At that point, it was this pivotal moment in my background where I decided that I was going to focus on training. My ultimate goal was to try to make a national team. Around 2008, I had a pretty bad injury with my back. I had had an invite to train with the team out in San Francisco. I made the choice based on doctors' recommendations that I take a year off. And that was my fast early retirement from training. And I had no career. I didn't know what I was gonna do. And here I am, 28, 29, with no direction. During this time, my now wife, Lizzy, stood by me. And we made the decision that we were gonna move to Boston. That thus started this new world for me of being in a corporate career, which I had never experienced. What happened was I just started getting burned, super burnt out. But I also knew I wanted more. I wanted to call my own shots. And so at that time, I decided I was gonna flip a house. For 9 months during the week, I was just an absolute mess when it came to my corporate career. I was just so unhappy. And I found myself working on the house all weekend, and I was just relaxed. There was something about doing something for myself and knowing that I was bettering my own future and I was in control of that was so gratifying. We listed that house and we sold it in 2 weeks. And I say to myself, well, we definitely need to do that again. I remember the time I had gone to upstate Vermont to coach rowing for a week. And I'm up there and I'm totally relaxed. I'm on the phone with my wife. And she says to me, "You should quit your job when you come in on Monday." I get home, I go to work Monday, and I quit my job. So at that moment is the moment that I actually picked up the tools again. You know, I always said I wanted to run from it, right? And now here I am going back to my roots. And we built that second house, and then we did our third. I finally made that conscious decision that this is what I was gonna do, that I wasn't gonna go back to the corporate world. And I didn't realize in those first 3 houses I was setting the backbone for a business that was gonna turn into Oak Development, but you know, it just naturally progressed. I'm envisioning what needs to be there. I'm working with blueprints to make something come to reality. And that to me is so satisfying. Those are the things to me that make my business so exciting. And those are the things that get me out of bed every morning. There was something about rowing that I loved because I was controlling my direction. And throughout my years after I had to stop training, I never found that again. I went into the corporate world and I didn't find it there. But then when I went on my own, I was moving in the direction where I know I control my future. And I think that's why I love what I do so much now. Over the past couple years, I had rekindled my relationship with my dad. I think for a little while, he had a hard time admitting that I had moved away and started my own thing. But this last year and a half, he really came around. So we did lose him this fall to what everybody can relate to, and that's COVID-19. I know that when he passed away, he was deep down really proud of what we've done. I remember this fall, I could just sense that final sense of calm between us. I'm at a point where I'm proud of what I've done. I'm proud of the team around me, and I know he would be too.